I just finished part one of Dream Hotel by Layla Lalami and I'm loving it so far. This could totally be a 5-star book. We're following Sarah, who is a museum archivist and a mom of twins, a wife, and one day when she comes back from a business trip, she gets detained. And things seem to be going kind of okay until they actually detain her. And they detain her based on the content of her dreams, which they are allowed to monitor through this like Neuralink thing that she got. And it was apparently in the terms and conditions of it, which obviously she did not read. Who reads terms and conditions? And we're seeing this kind of dual timeline situation, but we were first introduced to Sarah when she's already detained in this facility, this dream facility, the Dream Hotel. And she's there with a lot of other women. Your sentence usually starts at 21 days, but it can continue to be bumped up based on if the guards bump up your score based off of a variety of subjective things. Sarah's just kind of trying to keep her head down and get out. She has a family to go home to, but she's been there for 291 days when she was only supposed to be there for 21. And we're following her story from when she started to get detained and also while she's in this facility. I'm just really enjoying it so far. I'm hoping to get like halfway through it tonight, and I will update you once I hit there. I'm now 45% of the way done with the Dream Hotel, and it is making me so angry. It's absolutely commentary on like the privatized prison system and profit in prison systems, and it is making me so angry. It reminds me a lot of Chain Gang All Stars, also commentary on the prison system, just like a little bit of different commentary. We're also getting little epistolary bits sprinkled in the story, like emails, surveys, medical records, stuff like that, and I really like that aspect of it. And Sarah is just continually getting beaten down by pretty much everything, and we're also seeing her dreams every once in a while, and like dreams, you can't control them. It's so beyond frustrating, and I'm really liking it so far. I'm excited to continue it, but I will probably continue it tomorrow, and that's also when I'll update you. Good morning. Sorry if you can hear my dog eating in the background. He just eats and drinks whenever I turn on the camera. I don't know what it is, but I'm watching some dramathon sprints. That's going well. I am going to be reading hopefully almost the rest of the Dream Hotel today. But unfortunately, I have like other obligations to do today. I need to clean a little bit. I need to drive into the city and pick up a book that I had put on hold. I also need to film my February wrap up for YouTube and edit it to try and get it up for tomorrow, which I wish I wouldn't have left it, but it is what it is. But I want to read for a little bit first. I don't know if the how long the sprints are going to go on for, but I'm going to read for probably around an hour. I don't know why I felt the need to update you without a reading update, but that's where we're at today. It's so much later now, but I'm like 90% of the way done with the Dream Hotel and still loving it. It's gotten just like a little bit long, but we're just learning a lot of stories, a lot of dreams, a lot of things happening outside of this retention center now. There was a new woman and she only stayed for like the 3 weeks that you initially get sentenced with, which is just like unheard of. And we have discovered that she was someone working for this like technology that people have implanted that controls your sleep but also monitors your dreams. And she was trialing a new thing where they put like product placement in your dreams, which I was kind of thinking was going to happen. Absolutely a disgusting thought. And Sarah has figured this out now too because this woman has messed up. She wanted to follow up with Sarah because something happened in Sarah's dreams that would show like a really profitable new thing for them. And Sarah's figured this out and is pissed, obviously. And she's trying to recruit people in the retention center to not work as a form of protest, as a form of a strike, and also as trying to figure out what to do with this information. We've seen them have to get relocated and then come back because of a fire, and their conditions are just awful. And Sarah's internal monologue is so sad. It's a tough read, but I'm really liking it. I will absolutely be like buying a copy whenever it comes out. Speaking of buying books, and no, I'm not supposed to be buying books, but they had a signed one of this one, and I really wanted to go to his talk when he was in town and just couldn't make it. But this is One Day Everyone Will Have Been Against This by Omar El Akkad, and It's about Palestine, and they had autographed copies actually in at my romance bookstore, which like pop off, and I did get like a kind of damaged copy, but it's like not gonna impede my reading at all. And it's signed, look at that. I probably won't finish The Dream Hotel until tomorrow, but I'll try and film my like ending reaction to it. And then I don't remember what I'm planning on picking up next, but I will also tell you when I figure it out. Oh my gosh, long time no see. Long time for me, not a long time for you. I am so bad at vlogging during the week. It's just how it is. I finished The Dream Hotel. It's now out, so I went and grabbed myself a copy. Because this doesn't come off. I thought this came off. That's devastating. But I did really, really like it. The ending was kind of predictable. Like, I kind of saw where it was going. It didn't surprise me. I had to remind myself that it's not a horror and it wasn't just gonna go super, super dark. I still really liked it. I'm giving this like a 4.25, 4.5 stars. I think it's really solid. If you like Chinging All-Stars or if you like The Memory Police, I think this would absolutely be for you. And then I have started Space Rooms by A.G. Rodriguez. I'm not loving the writing. It is giving me Becky Chambers vibes though, and I'm liking that part about it. It is about a space broom, which is basically just like a janitor in space. He primarily cleans like restrooms, and obviously the restrooms are quirky because they're in space, so he's cleaning like 0G restrooms. So there's just excrement, a lot of different kinds of excrement everywhere, absolutely disgusting. And he finds what they call a data chit, which I think is just like a USB drive essentially with information on it. Turns out it is like video game skins, and as someone who is in a relationship with a gamer, they can get very expensive. So that's what's on it, and he is trying to figure it out. His boss is awful, his job is awful. He has a pretty decent roommate though, which we love to see that. He comes into contact with a couple people who are like smugglers. This is what they do for a living. It's just like illegal things. And they start on a wacky adventure together, and that's just kind of where I'm at. Is okay. I'm not like obsessed with it or anything. I think part of it is that Oathbound is out and that's all I want to read, and part of it is that this is just okay. But I will update you with some other thoughts. I do have to go pick up a package from UPS. I think it's a book, so that's exciting. I don't think it's Oathbound though. Barnes & Noble is just so cute and fun and flirty about their pre-orders. It makes me not want to pre-order, but like I want to pre-order the book to support the author, but like I also want the book immediately. You understand, you get it. And that's just where I'm at with that. So there's also sunshine outside, so we're probably gonna pop in this as an audio and go on a little walk. Maybe I'll show you some B-roll walk footage if that's something that you're interested in. I guess I have you hostage at this point. You don't really have a choice on what goes on. So I will see you when I see you and have more thoughts about Space Rooms. I just got done watching Jan's newest vlog, and I thought I would update you since it's been a couple days and I've just been really bad at vlogging this week. I've had a stressful work week, but it's fine. I have finished Space Rooms by A.G. Rodriguez. I'm giving it like a 3.25. It was fine. It had a forklift that acted like a dog, and I did like that. It was like pretty predictable, pretty like the meaning of life is love, and also the found family, also pretty predictable. It didn't need to be surprising. It wasn't intending to be surprising. I think that I'm just like not in this mood for kind of like cozier meaning of life stories, and that's kind of what I have on my docket for the next couple of books. So I'm just going to have to be brave and push through. I think another thing that is contributing to me not like loving this type of stuff right now is that all I want to do is read my copy of Oathbound. It did come this week. It was very exciting. She is thick. I also was first in line for Libby for the audiobook, and I've mostly been listening to it because most of my reading time was before this actually came in the mail, and I'm like this far of the way through it, absolutely obsessed with it. We are getting more than Bree's POV right now, and I'm obsessed. I'm so excited to continue this, but this vlog is not about Oathbound, unfortunately. I have to keep getting through my arcs. What I am reading is When We Were Real by Daryl Gregory. This is about a road trip of all of these random people, and I love like a vacation scenario where a bunch of random people who would normally not interact are having to interact. That is something that I like, and it is still entertaining so far. It is also, or at least when I read the pitch for it, it was primarily about a man with cancer, and I was a little bit worried about that because I'm not really into cancer. I guess I don't know how to put that in a normal way, but it's about everybody. There is an influencer and she's also pregnant and she's also really annoying. There is a man that's kind of like trying to prove all of the lies that everyone is telling everyone in a world that is a simulation, which seems extra dumb. And his son, there's just like a couple of old people that are just chilling, and then there's a man and his friend with cancer. It's been very lighthearted so far. The simulation things that they are experiencing are kind of fun. Like there's these sheep that are made out of this weird matter, but they're also not sentient, and everything is controlled by who they see as like the simulators, and you could just be deleted at any point, which is like definitely stressful. Like I get it, but also like in the real world you could die at any point too. And I think that's the point this book is trying to make. I don't think it needed 460 pages to make that point, but I'm 52% of the way done, so I'm like 230 pages in. They're about to go through this tunnel, which is apparently a big deal. I think they're on day 4 of a 5-day, it's a bus trip. They have to be in a bus to do this, and I don't know why it's only half over if it's a 5-day trip. Maybe I got that wrong, but it's feeling okay so far. I feel like it's going to be somewhere between a 3.5 and a 4. I don't know that it really has the potential for a 5-star, maybe a 4.5 if something really crazy happens, but I don't think that that's going to be true. And it's Thursday, which means it's almost the weekend, which means I should hopefully be better at vlogging, 1, and 2, I'll be able to read more, because there's a few more books that I want to read for this vlog. One of them is Vanishing Worlds by Sayaka Murata, When the Moon Hits Your Eye by John Scalzi, which is like the moon turns to cheese, and maybe even Sky Daddy, because I really want to read Sky Daddy. It's about a woman who's in love with a plane. That's not really sci-fi, but maybe I'll fit it into this vlog anyway. I will update you when I have more thoughts about When We Were Real. Okay, bye. It's a different day. It's the same book. I'm 83% into When We Were Real, and like I feel like I'm going through cycles of being absolutely obsessed with it and then just being kind of okay with it. I understand why these last couple days of the tour are so much of the book. Shit has essentially hit the fan, and we've also gone through like internal life crises for day 4. Day 4 is what they call the tunnel, and the tunnel you can go in for as long as you want. Time passes for you in there, but it doesn't pass in the real world, and you go from Kentucky to Utah in this tunnel, not actually walking, but like the entrance is in Kentucky, the exit is in Utah. The pregnant girl went right up until almost labor, which crazy. One of the nuns is now elderly, and she was like in her 20s or 30s when she walked in, and I guess it's just like kind of killing yourself but not really, and everyone has just like had these like crises basically. And also the FBI has caught up to the woman who is on the run. All these things are happening, and now they have gone on this rafting tour of the Zipper where it like, I am so bad at picturing things, and I think I'm really suffering from that in this book, but from what I understand it goes like this, but you feel like wherever the bottom of the raft is, that's parallel to the ground, so it's very trippy. And now finally they're at what feels like Fire Festival, and they're going to this, what do they call him? They call him like the Augment or something. He's like this all-powerful being, but he's just some guy. But also the pregnant girl, she's also an influencer, and her numbers are down. So she tattled to basically this incel group of where the woman on the run is, and they're also at this like Fire Festival situation, and there's these teen boys with guns, like school shooter types, and shit has just really hit the fan. I'm kind of into it. I think that this is probably going to be a 4-star book for me, and I like the trope of all of these people on a vacation who would never interact with each other otherwise. There's just something about that that really does it for me. I feel like it's usually pretty funny, and there's a lot of like antagonistic qualities to everybody, and it is stressing me out a little bit. But also I feel like we haven't really interacted with the simulators, the people that are running the sim that these people are living in, and I think that they're just gonna get deleted at the end, and that's it. That's how I would end the book, but I guess we'll see. I will update you when I'm done with it. Let's see. I ended up finishing When We Were Real, and I liked the ending. It was definitely cheesy, like with any kind of story like this, it's definitely going to be cheesy. but it wasn't like 100% cheese like I was expecting it to be. Like, it wasn't as cheesy as Midnight Library was. I liked it better than Midnight Library for sure. There was a little bit more levity, a little bit more like actual grief in it. And they did, spoiler, kill off my favorite character. That's just kind of how it goes. I thought it was good. I don't know if he's setting up for a sequel. I don't know that I would read the sequel, but I'm gonna give this 4 stars. I'm probably not gonna like add it to my shelves or anything. I thought it was solid. I would definitely recommend it. If you liked Midnight Library but wanted something either like a little bit funnier or a little bit grittier, I would definitely recommend it. Yeah, I guess let's get to the next book. Good morning. I am about to drive to another town to go to a library book sale. I'm very excited about it. And I'm also going to listen to When the Moon Hits Your Eye by John Scalzi. This is my first John Scalzi, but I think he's like... Sorry, my dog starts drinking every time I start filming. It's just how it works. I think John Scalzi is like pretty well-known fantasy, but I haven't read anything by him yet. Which doesn't like mean anything, but I just haven't read anything by him yet. This book is about what happens when the moon turns into cheese. And I think it's gonna be kind of silly, but I don't know like how silly. But find out. I'll probably update you when I get to McMinnville, because that'll give me like a good amount into the book, more than like. I also need to stop and get gas, and we need to stop at Barnes & Noble and the library today. It's a very big book day for me. I don't know if your Barnes & Noble does this either, but my Barnes & Noble has Cheesecake Factory cheesecake, so every time I go, my partner's like, hey, could you give me a piece of cheesecake? And they're like $7 a slice, but like, I'm a good partner. So yeah, we need to take this dog outside and then we can be on our way. Okay, bye. I just got done with the library book sale. It was super packed, but I got some really good things. I'm really happy with my purchases. You'll be seeing it in a later vlog. I'm doing like a whole thing. You'll see it later at some point. And then I started When the Moon Hits Your Eye by John Scalzi. I'm like a third of the way into it or so. I think it's going to be a pretty quick read. There's a lot of like text messages and interviews and Slack messages that take up a lot of spaces on the page, so it's not really 300 pages. Each chapter is a day after the moon turns into cheese. And we're seeing from all of these different perspectives, like there's a church congregation in Iowa and how they're trying not to say that it was the devil's work, but also it could be the devil's work. And then obviously we're seeing NASA scientists try and figure out what the fuck is happening and also what to tell the public. I think we've gotten one from the president and how he's just like dealing with it. Who else have we seen? I think we just saw some like normal average people too. And I think the next chapter, we saw a Hollywood exec get pitched a bunch of ideas, and it was just cheese puns. 4 pages. It was such a funny chapter. This book is very silly. I do think that it is a little unrealistic, beyond the moon turning into cheese, that all of these people are so witty and funny while talking to each other. I think John Scalzi is witty and funny, and I have enjoyed the conversations. They haven't felt forced for humor. It's just felt funny, like quick-witted. And I really like the writing style. I will absolutely be picking up more from John Scalzi when I just like need something fun. There's also a girl in Wisconsin who started working at a cheese shop, and I think that's definitely going to go somewhere. I think there's going to be a love story to be told. I'm excited about it. The book is good. The library book sale was good. I'm having such a good day. And now I need to go to the bookstore that it is in this town for content purposes. I don't really need to buy any more books, will I? Hello, it's been many hours. I did finish When the Moon Hits Your Eye by John Scalzi, and my only issue with it is that a couple of the chapters, the bits, the slices of life that we got in this apocalypse situation had so little to do with the apocalypse. Like, we got one author's like trials of trying to get a book published for a couple years, and it ended that, oh, now there's no point in finally doing this because the world is ending. But it was just such a long chapter that I don't think was really necessary. There were a couple of those, so I am going to give this 4 stars, but other than that, I did really like it. I loved the ending. The ending was perfect, and I liked all of the different examples of how different people would handle this situation. I thought it was extremely fun. The author's foreword is the beginning. What's the end? Not like a post word. The afterword, John Scalzi was basically like, yeah, I did some scientific research, but like, it's not scientifically accurate by any means. And it's like, yeah, that's not why I'm here. I'm here for fun. But we can also do a little haul of the other things that I did today, because I did say that I was going to Barnes & Noble in the library, other than the book library book sale that I went to. I also went to a bookstore while I was in McMinnville, and I was very well behaved. I got a birthday card from my friend. She's very cute. My friend is very cute. I was talking about the card though. And then I got this thing, which is just like not necessary. This is supposed to be a phone holder to go on your journal, and then it can hold cords, but I'm going to use it for annotating books, like whatever book that I'm annotating. Then I can put like my tabs and pens and stuff, because what always happens to me is that I lose whatever I'm annotating with, and then my annotations in the book are not consistent looking, and it pisses me off. Like if I'm gonna annotate it, I do want it to be like pretty. So was it worth the $20 I paid for it? Probably not, but I am really excited about it. What else did we do today? Oh, I exchanged a book. I was just gonna return it, but it was a gift card, so I wouldn't have gotten cash back anyway. So this was well and truly free. And I returned my copy that I got from Barnes & Noble of The Unworthy because I ended up getting it in my Aardvark subscription. So I got Rest Stop instead, which is actually great because Barnes & Noble canceled this book when I had ordered books a different time. So I finally have my hands on the physical copy. I have already read this and I loved it. I love Nat Cassidy's writing. It's so good. And I feel like the cover so accurately describes what this book is like. Like, yeah, that's literally what it is. And you should read it. This is one of my favorite horror novellas of all time. And then I also went to the library where they also informed me that a different location has my credit card that I apparently left there. I am just a girl who is really bad at keeping hold of the contents of her wallet. It's been a problem forever, but I did get my hold of The Pink Agave Motel by V. Castro. It's a short story collection. I actually have the arc of it, but I was like, it would be so fun to have just the physical copy instead. I quite literally don't know when I'm going to read this. However, I would love to read it this month so that I can check it off my NetGalley shelf, because that's the whole reason for this video. My NetGalley shelf is not looking so good, and I would like to get approved for some arcs that I might not otherwise. I do think that somebody must look at the percentage. Why else would they say keep it at 80%? Mine's at 39 right now. I have like 60 or 70 arcs to review, and most of them I still need to read. I think by the end of this video, by the end of this week, I should be able to review like 10 of them, because a couple of them I'm just like extremely late on. Like I read them in February or earlier, and then the rest of them I have read this week. So that's good for me. Also, I just want to talk about this discovery really quickly. This tote bag has long handles, but it also has short handles, and it was perfect for me shoving books at a library book sale in. It was very versatile. I would recommend it. I would also recommend Annie Bloom Books in Multnomah Village, Oregon, if you're wondering about that. I also have 3 or 4 books coming in the mail this week from publishers, which I'm excited about, because then I can, once they get here, I think on Friday, I'll finally be able to open them, because I've been keeping a stack and I'm ready to open some packages. Most of the ones on this chair right now though are ones that I bought. I don't get that much mail from publishers. And what else am I going to read for this vlog? I still need to finish Vanishing World by Sayaka Murata. That's going well. I'm buddy reading that with Sarah. It's my first Sayaka Murata. It's interesting, that's for sure. And then I would really, really, really love to read Sky Daddy, but I don't know if I'm going to have enough time, because I want to get this posted on Monday. So we'll see. And this doesn't really have a time constraint. I'm just excited about it. But this and The Raven Scholar are buddy reads that I need to keep up with. So I don't know. I should have plenty of time to read tomorrow, but also like I'm just one girl. How much reading can I get done? If you think I'm always on this couch, I am. But I'm starting another book for this vlog, and I wish it had the cover, but it's Vanishing World by Sayaka Murata. It's my first Sayaka Murata, so I'm a little nervous, but I'm a little excited. I definitely want to read Earthlings and Convenience Store Women at some point, but I got an arc of this one, so I prioritized it. And this is about, I think, from what I remember of the synopsis, a woman who grew up in a time where people are only conceived by artificial insemination, not by sex, except she was conceived by sex. And this came to be because when men went to war for World War II, I think, the birth rate went down. And obviously, when the birth rate goes down, it hurts capitalism. And because we live in a capitalistic society, that is just no good. So they started promoting artificial insemination, and now it's the only way that babies happen. I think she's just like not super into that, and she wants to have sex. I haven't gotten to that part yet. I'm like 5% into the book at this point. And at some point in the story though, she's gonna want to have sex. So they go to live in like a commune of sorts where people be fucking, I guess. And I hope that it's just as weird as all the other Sayaka Murata books. I'm also buddy reading it with my friend Sarah, and I know that she's already sent me her voice message for our reading today. And I'm so excited to see what she has to say. But I need to read our pages first. And I think I want to go to a coffee shop to do that. I just feel like getting out of the house today. So we're going to go to the coffee shop. I don't know if I'm going to do anything else there, any kind of work, but that's the plan. I'll show you some like B-roll clips. So I'll see you when I have thoughts. I just finished The Vanishing World by Sayaka Murata, and I think I'm going to give it 3 stars. So here's the thing. I like the ending. I like how far she took it. I think that birth and like kids like this really freaks me out. And if I put it in the context of it being a horror book, then I guess it was really effective because I was horrified. But if I put it in the context of like a sci-fi, I wouldn't say that I liked it as much. And I don't know, it felt like a lot of things in the beginning didn't matter as much as I thought they were going to. And I think something I like though is that with the way that our world is and with the way, like the direction that like politics and culture is taking, it's getting a lot more conservative, a lot more clinical. I could totally see something like this happening, and it's really freaky. I don't like it. And also the concept of the womb being outside of your body. It's not about a man being pregnant, it's about being able to see the baby smiling while it's still in the womb. That absolutely horrified me. Yeah, I guess it's 3 stars. I still definitely want to read more from Sayaka Murata. I'm definitely going to read Earthling still. And I think that's the last book for the vlog. Thank you so much for being here. If you made it this far, leave me a baby emoji for The Vanishing World. And I will see you for the next vlog. It's probably going to be a fantasy art vlog. Okay, bye.